So I got cut off at the end of that video. I was trying to read it, finish my thoughts. Actually, if I was to go back through this again, if I were to go back through it again and explain why I chose the structure that I chose and the grammar and the words and all of that, it would take another video, which I might do in the future. But yeah, as of right now, I'm gonna finish this last stanza up. I locked you into me, but right now, this shouldn't be. So I cut them suddenly to relieve me. Couldn't unravel the masses of confusion. Couldn't pick just one strand that made me disillusioned. So I cut them. Actually, that's supposed to be but yeah. Anyway, the way YouTube does it, they crunch it all up, change my structure. Anyway, but we'll talk about that later. But it says I locked. Oh, actually, I'll post on a couple of my videos, some of the blogs and some of the places where I've posted some of this poetry in the past. In particular, one of my favorite places to post on MySpace. I have 2 accounts on MySpace, and then another account somewhere elsewhere. Uhuru Zion. On Zanga. Yeah, I was on Zanga back in the day when Zanga was out. Yeah, right. Had one on Blogspot, but yeah, so I locked you into me, but right now this shouldn't be. So I cut them suddenly to relieve me. Couldn't unravel the masses of confusion. Couldn't pick just one strand that made me disillusioned. So I cut them. When you go through a complex relationship, and if you go through a relationship, as sometimes lesbian relationships are, they're very quick, and sometimes they progress very quickly because of the height of the emotions between the two beings, between the two people, because of the the level of hormones, the level of just emotion. So when you see that, sometimes I think in this particular when I wrote this particular poem in this particular moment, it felt like I had rushed into it. So it was like, right now this shouldn't be. Like, I know, like, this shouldn't be right now in this moment of time. This is not where I want to be. And at that moment in time, I realized that the control that she had over me was, at the particular time, I was just awakening and beginning my natural journey. And I had been on the website Naturality for a long time as Afrocore. And, just logging on, learning, posting on occasion, went to a couple of naturality picnics and everything. But was just beginning my journey into my Loc'd stage. It was back in 2000s, early 2000s. So, it was like, she had control of me, because at that point I didn't know how to groom myself. I was learning. I didn't know how to maintain my own locks. And I allowed her to be the person that did that had control over that right there. And with her having control over that right there, she also had control over my appearance. She had, and in her having control over my appearance, in a way, she had control over my self-esteem. Because I don't care if you male, female, in between, whatever, you don't want to go out looking crazy. You would like to look presentable in a fashion that you deem presentable. And hopefully the rest of the public deem presentable, whatever. So I cut the locks off because I didn't know how to maintain them. And so until I gathered enough information to maintain them and to care for them properly, I cut them off. I cut the hair off. And it was the same thing with the relationship. I cut the relationship off because I wasn't ready and able to handle what was going on with the relationship. Neither was I able to handle what was going on with my hair, because the beginning stages of locking are difficult, and if you don't know how to control hair, you don't know what products to use, or you don't know which way to twist them. You twisting to the left this time and to the right that time, they're not gonna lock. So those things that I wasn't, I didn't know. So I had to cut that, and I couldn't unravel the masses of confusion. Cause like at a point they was really short. It was probably about that long, little spikes. Y'all, if y'all haven't defined on my picture. Yeah, little spikes. Yeah, so I used to keep a little short. Everybody knows short twists. Short, but when I found that let them lock, they were short locks. And, yeah, they look horrible. And so I just had to learn. So I couldn't unravel that mess of confusion in the hair. It had some lint, it had cat hair, some everything else in it. And dog hair. Mr. Shoe, shout out Mr. Shoe. Oh, anyway. And I couldn't just pick one strand that made me disillusioned. One strand about the relationship, or one strand of, the hair. I couldn't just pick one strand and then pick it out and pick it all the way up, because the hair had clumped, some by palm rolling it, some had become broken pieces. It was strong as long as you maintain the closeness and the bond, but once you break it apart, it didn't have the force. It didn't have the ability to penetrate, the ability to last and withstand or stand independently. So I had to cut it off. Them strands or strangling hair hanging down at the end was not going, no, that was not going to work. So I had, as I picked at it, it didn't work. And if I had also picked that, the relationship, picked that, her, picked that, me, and hadn't put back into me, or put back into her, and she wasn't willing to put back into us, I realized that, gotta cut it. Seems like it was a split-second decision. Perhaps it was. Sometimes all you need is a second to realize that what is happening, or what has occurred, does not need to happen or continue to happen. And have a mentality within heart and mind, soul and spirit that it won't happen again. And because I had hope and faith, I locked again. Strange irony. I like irony. It's cool. Love writing, love poetry. Alright. Next up should be Dedication of a Poet. Yeah, I think that's up next, so I think I'll put that up. Yeah. A couple more coming up. I don't know how much I should put up, how much poetry I should put up. How so much, but I don't know. Alright, peace. Hope y'all like the analysis.